Welcome to today's session of Viewer Levels. Before we get to the first submission of the day, which will be the Ultimate Boss Fight Troll by Floofy Boy, and welcome to Furia SMM as well, we're going to do a quick warm-up level by a Japanese maker that I've been following and going off for a long time. This is Kenna, who has been hit pretty hard lately with the Nintendo Deletion Hammer. If I understand this correctly, having lost up to 9 levels all of a sudden, including the one that was submitted to 4YMM last year, the Lost Ancient Skewer. So there's a certain urgency, I think, to get some of this new material recorded. We'll do that very quickly, and then we'll get to the rest of the queue after that. And Furia, you're saying... Oh, okay. You're also Furia Nova's either another account or just a name change on your current account, but... You're making a level that's not for viewer levels? Yeah, we can discuss that at some point and see how we might be able to feature it, if it's a matter of length or something else. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, I'll just refer to you as Furia if you prefer that. So it'll distinguish you from some of the other Novas we see around here. Very hard Team Shell level. Yeah, I might not get very far with that, but... hope it does get a proper playthrough from people who can handle it. Okay, looks like so far it's just rising and sinking blasters. It's sort of interesting that it's on what almost seems like the equivalent of a 3D World style crate setup, although I think it's just probably on moving platforms that are synchronized with the lava level here. Not exactly sure, although we definitely don't want to be pulled off screen. Man, welcome. Anyway, let's not get squished. I'm going to get squished. Really should have scouted that out in advance and taken a look at that one tile gap that was very much available. And Mang and Imporsator, thank you for the submissions, respectively. I made the same mistake. Too busy reading chat. I hope I read that correctly, Imporsator. If that's incorrect, you let me know. But yeah, looking forward to beautiful falling platforms when we get to it. Okay. Down we go. And let's just hop around here until we manage to get out of here safely. Whoops. Yeah, Mang, I don't think that's accurate today because we're definitely getting squished from time to time. But anyway, here's a boom boom for you. Just to make matters slightly better. And up we go. And audio is dead already. Okay, we'll fix that up. That's why we run the warm-up level at the start. Partly why. And so we'll get that repaired. Now we do have a persistent issue of sound glitching out every now and then when I start things up, so we'll hopefully fix that up and have it actually stick this time. It's gotten worse with time, and I think it is just a heat and dust contamination issue with the streaming PC that I'm using. So give me a moment while I fix that, and then we'll pull in the first item in the queue today, which will be from Floofy Boy. And thank you for the GGs. I'll just be back in one moment. Okay, sound should be back, and it should hopefully stay. Now, I believe the level title specified that this was a troll. You hope I forgive you for this level? This is a viewer level stream, not a confessional box, but I'm sure we can work something out. Ask yourself how you uploaded this. Well, there's a world record that's under 4 seconds. Let's see what this is all about. So somebody figured out the path out of here. Okay, mushroom and a door. We'll try it without the mushroom later if there's a mushroom check that causes problems. Bomb, and eventually we kill a Bowser, I'm sure. If Bowser actually has the key. But if it's just a matter of bombing Bowser repeatedly, I'm sure that's not something that could be done in 4 seconds. It may actually... I'm just looking at Bowser and trying to inspect whether you would have something like a hidden exit door that would be accessible with a damage boost. I mean, there could always be something buried under the skewers as well. That might be worth checking. But anyway, we can try to beat Bowser and see what happens. I think it's probably not likely to be that interesting, but we can drop a couple of bombs on him eventually. Whoops. Let's try to sink in his skewers. No. One thing that could eventually be done is to... I'm just thinking about whether we can access the Mecha Koopas somehow. Mecha Koopas are going to do all that. The Thwomp. Oh, I wasn't paying too much attention to the Thwomp dropping out of position. I guess the Thwomp drops all the way down, does not retract. And yeah, Mamuga, I can hear you singing that already. It is a hard knock, soft lock. And Bowser does have the key, okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking, you know, there are only so many elements here that could conceivably have the key. But I was definitely thinking that it could be something hidden with the skewers. Or possibly just under Bowser himself, although I was kind of looking at his feet to see if maybe there would be something accessible there. And I don't see it. But, oh, I'm colliding with something. I'm just colliding with Bowser, I think. I always have to remember the Bowser collision logic in the different styles. So you don't really see him all the time. And you think you got it, okay. Yeah, skewers are worth checking. The bomb... let me think about that. Check this. And, yeah, I am just sort of thinking about this while I'm watching it. I don't know if it even is cheese hunting necessarily, if the cheese plate is actually the main course. This is more of a dev exit than a cheese. Yeah, I think it's very clearly a dev exit from the 4-second record we were looking at. But, you know, my first thought was to check all of these locations here. My second thought is that... I don't think this is true of the Super Mario World castle style, but that sometimes you do have some locations that are buried right on lava level, like they are in things like SMB1 Jungle, which is why that's so popular for trolls. And thank you for the follow. So let's see if we can spot what's going on here. I feel like I want to check all of these locations just to be very thorough about this. There's nothing else that's going to be accessible here. I do want to go through without the mushroom. That's something I said at the start that I didn't try. Doesn't look like that gets me anything, though, in terms of some kind of off-screen conditional power-up check. And I feel like it's also possible to... Whoops. I guess not, given the hitbox and those guys. But let's see. I actually wonder Dark, did I play any of your levels because you forgot? I actually don't quite remember either, now that you mention it. And, yeah, Document, you can probably just DM your idea, and then we'll see if it's actually a spoiler. And if it's not a spoiler, then I'm sure we can probably hear it anyway. I wonder if it's actually something like a block that's on top of the cloud, where you hit a block on top of the cloud and exit out the pipe. That's one thing I can think of. That would be an alternate route. No, it's not. Okay. Thought it was worth checking. I mean, we can try to do this legitimately, but it is a bit of a difficult time depending on how Bowser Fire is going to cooperate with us. I'm going to do one quick thing. I'm still playing this, but I'm going to exit and see if we can solve it from the previous screen. So you can see that there is an exit pipe over the axe, but that would mean that there was something going there from the subworld. That does kind of imply that maybe a pipe entry is the thing we should be looking for. But of course the key door I think is actually mapped to that location as well, so very curious. Nothing else going on that I can see though. The legitimate solution would work, but you're not sure how possible it really is. Yeah, in the sense that theoretically it works if the key is actually mapped to Bowser. Zoinks beat it, but didn't like it. Huh, interesting. I mean, from what I could see from the preview, it didn't look like Zoinks actually put in that many attempts to work it out. Just poking around in here to see. Didn't think so. We'll see, because right now I'm not even thinking of this so much as a troll, but as this sort of... Not quite a puzzle, because it's not like it's giving you the tools or information to solve it, but... You know, it's a bit of a hunt to dev exit exercise, and we do have to figure that out. So yeah, I have tried the cloud idea already, and that's I was checking for something like a platform over the cloud, or something to stand on. I don't see anything that could be hit with a scroll break, obviously, given that we're surrounded by ground blocks. And yeah, Dark, thank you for the submission. And yeah, we'll definitely just check that when we get to your profile to see if we've already played that. It is really a find a secret level, and the thing is, we're working with a space that's small enough that there isn't really that much room for secrets, except we know that Bowser has spawned in proximity here. Yeah, nothing here. I wonder if it's possible to do anything to reposition the Thwomp. And whether the mechas are actually going to be relevant for anything other than the zone control that they're already doing. Like, if it's something that's doable in 4 seconds, I mean, we've checked the tops of these skewers already, but I do wonder if there's something buried under the bottom skewer, perhaps. And how we would access that, if so. So, for example, if you're doing spin jumps off the Thwomp and you manage to slip into some location on the side. Interesting that Bowser is one of the only non-3D world enemies that will bounce you back. Yeah, and in this style. I remember finding that a little bit odd. In the same way that, you know, munchers are just really overrepresented in this game pretty much entirely because of the collision logic. And Impositor, in terms of adding fake secrets as noise, I don't think that's really even necessary for a concept like this. I mean, sometimes there are things like puzzles, even very legitimate puzzles, that benefit a lot from giving you very few tools to work with, and still making you wonder what the possibilities are with a very limited space like what we have here. It's not even just a matter of difficulty, it's more that, you know, you already have quite a bit of information to deal with here. And the fact that there are so few things that look interactive is part of what makes this a challenge. So I think if I took damage, and then if I headed over to the mechas, I kind of wonder. Audio fell asleep again. Okay. We really need to get that sorted out somehow. I'm hoping to make some improvements this week on the hardware side, but we'll see how durable this fix is going to be. Yesterday it stayed alive for the rest of the stream after an initial hiccup, so let's try it again. Yeah, it's been getting worse and worse lately over the last few streams. Because I did have a temporary solution for it, and then that no longer seems to do the job I thought it would. Okay, should be back. Let's try it again. Yeah, I feel like the mushroom does give me the possibility of some kind of damage boost. And yeah, Male64, thank you for Super Boom's Furnace. Blazing Furnace, I should say. So we activated the Thwomp. I wonder if the Thwomp is going to be relevant in that maybe we could ride the Thwomp down and slip into this location here. Like if you ride a Thwomp down, maybe you're able to go through a side pipe or something. That would be 2 tiles high. Let me try it. I'm going to drop the Thwomp. I'm going to get on top, take damage, and whoops, no, too late. Is the sound still being a massive problem? I may need to restart the stream and just turn down the video quality or something to get it fixed properly, because it's being a real nuisance today. Okay, let's try this again. I'm thinking the sort of top candidate for what to do now is to ride the Thwomp down. And if you ride the Thwomp down, you can slip between the skewers on the left. But I need to be a little bit faster than that if there is something like an entrance that is buried in there. Yeah, Dark, I already tried going without the mushroom. Wait, let's not drop the Thwomp so soon. I do want to run directly onto the Thwomp, I think. And I will take damage, but that's okay. What I don't want to do is jump. Maybe not. But I'm still arriving at that location a little too low to test that properly, so I want to make at least 1 or 2 more attempts at that to see if that actually will be. Whoops. Now it's a little bit too soon. Because that's one of the few locations I can think of that would actually be accessible to me. That would be buried under the skewers, but not accessed by what I'm doing now. The issue is whether the artwork of a pipe that's buried sideways under the skewers would actually be totally hidden like that, or would be invisible some other way. But right now, that's my sort of top suspicion for what might actually be happening. No, still a little bit too slow on that. And yeah, for the artist formerly known as Furinova, thanks for dropping by. There we go. It was just a matter of execution. Now let's see what's through here. Probably just the exit. There we go. Solved it. And so, yeah, you weren't kidding about the key door being matched over here. Yeah, that actually does kind of work as a puzzle. I am not pushing the world record here. But in terms of the skewer hiding and how that overlaps with things like the pipe artwork, that is kind of essential knowledge for surviving some basic trolls, so that's a decent way to actually test that. And yeah, in Porsator, as you said, it does hide it completely. Now, we usually go between next and sub next. I don't think we actually have any subs in just yet. Electro Dude, you say the sound sounds high-pitched, and somebody had just said it sounded low-pitched, so something is glitchy, I think. But we'll figure out what that is. And yeah, this has been a massive headache to deal with lately. Anyway, let's pull up Mang, otherwise known as der Yogurt Hose. So yeah, hopefully the sound will actually behave here. And thank you for the submission, Electro Dude. $69 YMM Sonic Super Blast. A rejected 5 YMM from the distant future, because Kavik couldn't get past the icicle without the power of time travel to the distant future. So no cake for Kavik, but we'll see if there is a kick with 69 candles for us. Probably not, but there's probably some other Mang secret in here. So let's take a look. And now the sound is also okay. Fine. Let's see if I can do a quicker fix here. Just give me one moment. Let me play the first attempt first just to see how things are going. But 69 YMM. So yeah, is anybody seeing like a really serious delay in the sound? Is that still a synchronization issue? And King Brock, thank you for the submission of 2-3 in your series. Okay, so let's see if I can trick this out somehow. It is possible, if this is such a serious problem today, this is already a third reset, that I will need to reset the stream and go offline and start over. So just be aware of that. The queue will, of course, remain in place as is. And I'm going to try to apply a slightly different fix. I'm playing in a distant future compared to my sound. Okay. Well, maybe that will be the secret recipe to success. Let's try the synchronization. Let's see if this works. Try to apply a slightly different fix to it this time. You probably need to slide through the icicle. Maybe in the ground pound state, if it is a ground pound bus dash panel. That is a good band name. No, let's see. Yeah, because I ground pounded into that, but then the dash panel gets me back into a standing state, so there's something mechanically I need to learn here, which is part of the Mang experience. I think I might need to go right up against a wall. But we'll see. Always a bit of a learning experience at the start. Possibly I need to make the icicle fall first. If it is that kind of icicle, I couldn't actually tell exactly. Yeah, I can make it fall. I don't know about that down arrow, whether it's a long jump, whether it's going to be some kind of signal that we have to treat some other way in a more time-sensitive fashion. Because I don't necessarily think that we'll always have locations that are that generous about letting it just reset. Oh, does the icicle work? Rejected. And, yeah. Look at all of these dash panels here. Whoops, through the icicle. Okay, on-off switch, and then now what do we do? Let's probably need to jump this guy and raise him the way that we were doing, except if I get onto the cloud, then I can kind of reposition him that way. Okay. I like that method so far. I don't know if in the long run it will actually get me, whoops, what I want. Yeah, I was hoping to raise the skip squeak that time, and it didn't go up, which surprised me. There was something going on with the skip squeak range there that we will need to check. There we go. There we are. It's probably a more efficient way to do it anyway. Okay, there is a bit of a coin collection thing going on here. We'll just do it this way and make sure we do a bit of a hop at the end there. I was not paying attention to that blue block at all, so naturally we suffered the consequences. Okay, there we go. Get this, and then, whoops, no. Let's give this a little bit more room. There we go. And, yeah, let's go this way. Nope. Already preparing the directional change on that. Maybe a little bit early. Whoa, okay. That's interesting. Maybe the coins are just optional, but we'll just keep that in mind and try to go for all of this anyway, so. Probably need to build up speed, and okay, not that much speed. What's this bully going to do for us here? Bounce, there we go. Not enough of a bounce, but I see what it's supposed to do. Just a matter of figuring out the correct input for dealing with it. Okay, so this is just entirely a positional control test. Down we go. Nope. Okay. Tap this down here and back over. Oops. Yeah, that works too. So, I guess this shows you that the bully just kind of pops you over this way. Yeah, we have a particular jump timing that we need, that we can practice on this. There we go. Yeah, that's correct. That's not so correct. You played this yesterday, very hard but very cool. Quite hard but very cool, I see, yeah. Particularly that's icicle here, seems. Well, it was cool, now it's just cruel. That's what icicles do. Okay. Drop. There we go. And same idea as before. Yeah, that one tile reversal on the top left was pretty interesting. Okay. Nope, I was just a little bit off in my jump input timing. And, yep. There we go. Nope. At this point, they should definitely get Meng in on making the next Sonic the Hedgehog game. All these momentum-based designs. You would think that Sega would wise up to that kind of thing eventually, but they're just not paying enough attention. Whoops. Okay, there we go. And here. Yeah, it's a fun reversal to do it. Top left. Because it just feels instantaneous due to the ceiling. Alright, let's do the practice bounce a few times just to make sure I've got the timing. I currently don't have the timing. Nope. Too early. Need to kind of bounce right into it. And yeah, there we go. Not quite right. I think I accidentally hit the long jump input there, actually. You got Minecraft Sonic. Interesting. As in Sonic built inside Minecraft, or am I just totally misunderstanding that? Sonic DLC for Minecraft, okay. You can just hold jump on the bullies. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. My timing was just off. I was going a little bit too early. We'll try to fix that. Okay, this works. And then we tap this. And yeah, probably could have slid smoothly over on that, but yeah. So that's the timing that we want, right? Nope. Collide into the bully and then hold jump. There we go, just like that. Nope. Didn't expect to get pushed that far. So my jump timing was just a little bit off as I was being propelled to the left there. Audio's gone again. Yeah, I may just restart the stream, I think, but not yet. Let me just try one more fix. Because it's been even worse than usual today, which makes me grateful that I am trying to get it fixed on the hardware side this week. And welcome, Supernova. And yeah, Electrodude, yeah, sorry, I saw belatedly that your link got blocked as well. Let me just try to permit you in chat while we get everything restarted. So if you want to try to share that again, you can certainly do it. I trust you to give us something decent in YouTube. I'm not going to look at it myself right now, though. Okay, now my local audio is dead. But I can see that hopefully it should be working for you folks. Yeah, it's been a particular nightmare this week for some reason. Oh, the trailer for the Sonic Minecraft thing. Okay, I see. And here we go. Nope, backed out a little bit too early. Alright, try it again. And what have we got here? Okay, there we are. Back to the off state, and whoops, nope. All the way up. And okay. Yeah, we've got to restart the stream, I think. It's too much of a problem. It will be a little bit unfortunate for this level because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn down the frame rate on the whole thing and see if it solves the issue. Because today it's just been bugged and bugged and bugged. So I will make sure to come back so people know the queue will remain as is. There are no problems with that remaining in place. And I will just reset the stream very quickly. So see you in just a moment.